Okay, picture this. You're watching what looks like a scene from some big budget movie, a U.S. stealth bomber slicing through the night sky towards Iran. Then, a quick cut, Tehran. A woman, she's just quietly feeding stray cats, amid some rubble. Looks totally real, high stakes stuff. Now, what if I told you that whole sequence? It wasn't filmed. No location shoots, no actors, no sets at all. Every single frame generated by artificial intelligence. So today we're diving into how these new AI tools are, well, completely turning filmmaking on its head. They're letting people create really high-grade cinematic work, like incredibly fast. But as you can probably guess, the speed, this new power, it's kicking up some serious debate.
Absolutely. And that's really our mission for this deep dive. We want to unpack what these, frankly, fascinating AI filmmaking tools can actually do. Explore the pretty radical impacts they're having on how fast things get made, how much they cost, and crucially, take a hard look at the really significant copyright concerns popping up. We've gathered a bunch of sources covering these, well, groundbreaking developments and the thorny issues they bring.
Yeah, thorny is a good word. To really get a sense of the scale here, let's look closer at that film I mentioned, Midnight Drop. It's by Samir Malal and Buha Kazmi, a 12-minute short about a U.S. attack on Iranian nuclear sites. And what's just astonishing is that the whole visual story, including that woman feeding the cats, it all came from just one tiny detail they read in a news article. No location, no actors, all AI. It really makes you wonder what a film set even is anymore, doesn't it?
It totally does. And, this isn't Malal's first go at this. He did another piece, Spiders in the Sky, recreating a Ukrainian drone attack on Russian bombers. The truly revolutionary part there, the efficiency. Malal made it himself in 2 weeks. Now, if you think about traditional filmmaking, that kind of project, millions of dollars, at least 2 years, easily, just for development and production.
2 weeks versus 2 years and millions. Wow, that's not just faster, it's a different universe almost. It makes you ask, what does this sudden shift mean for, traditional film crews, for film schools even?
It means we're seeing this huge acceleration in what one person, or maybe a very small team, can achieve. Malal actually has this vision, he calls it cinematic news, like thrillers based on real-world events turned around super fast. He's quoted saying, you can make really good stuff fast, and that it moves at, quote, the speed of culture, which, is such a contrast to Hollywood's often glacial pace.
The speed of culture. I like that phrase. It really captures how artists can now react almost immediately to things happening. And he also talked about the creative process itself being faster.
Yeah, he calls it getting to the best bad ideas faster. His point is, creativity involves a lot of trial and error, making bad versions to find the good one. And AI just lets them crush that iteration time down.
Yeah.
Massively. And it's not just tiny clips either. They had another AI piece, Atlas Interrupted, about a comet show up on the BBC. So, yeah, it's getting mainstream attention.
That's incredible. Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts. What are the specific AI tools making this possible? We hear about Google's new thing, VO3, is that right? A video generation model, and Google's Flow, which apparently does speech, sound effects, background noise, the whole audio package. But Midnight Drop actually used a mix, didn't it? VO3, OpenAI's Sora, Midjourney, combining their strengths.
Exactly. And it's really important to stress the human element here. It's collaboration. So the visuals are AI, yes. But for Spiders in the Sky, the voiceover, the actual script, the music that wasn't AI. Though, interestingly, ChatGPT did help Malal edit down a long interview with a drone operator, which became the film's narrative. So AI is an assistant tool there.
Right, it's not just pushing a button. Sounds like a whole new skill set is emerging. Malal even calls it prompt craft, right? The art of telling the AI exactly what you want. He sounded genuinely amazed, saying how quickly he could tweak camera angles or lighting just by a few taps on a keyboard, basically translating his director brain into AI instructions. That's where it gets really interesting.
It really is. And look, this isn't just some indie filmmaker thing anymore. The wider industry is absolutely paying attention. Richard Osman, the TV producer and author, he came out and said pretty bluntly that Google's AI video tool marked the end of one era in entertainment and the start of a new one.
Wow, that's a big statement from someone like him. And he made some bold predictions too, didn't he? Something about TikToks and ads.
Yeah, he predicted TikTok, ads, trailers, anything like that, I will say, will be majority AI assisted by 2027.
2027, that's just around the corner. That feels incredibly fast for such a huge shift.
It is fast. And, there are hurdles, obviously.
Yeah.
Existing ways of working, people's jobs. But the potential efficiency gains are just so massive.
Yeah.
Marina Hyde, Osmond's podcast co-host, also talked about the extraordinary amount of AI content just flooding out there. She did say a lot of it is just, well, her word was slop AI nonsense.
Yeah.
But then some things, like those funny Olympic diving dogs videos, can be surprisingly, well, compelling.
Right. The quality varies wildly right now.
Yeah.
And it's not just entertainment. The advertising world is apparently bracing for impact, too. David Jones, CEO of brand tech group, they use generative AI. He predicts, today, less than 1% of all brand content is created using Gen AI. It will be 100% that is fully or partly created using Gen AI. 100%. That's total transformation for advertising.
And just to underline how mainstream this is becoming, Netflix apparently just revealed they used AI in one of their TV shows for the first time, like last week. So it's not theory anymore. It's actually happening in major productions right now.
Okay, and this is the big but, isn't it? With all this power comes, well, problems, or at least huge questions. The biggest one seems to be copyright. Intellectual property. We're seeing real tension, particularly in the UK, where creative industries are described as furious about government plans that would let AI models train on copyrighted work without asking permission first. Using an opt-out system, that just flips the whole idea of copyright upside down, right?
It absolutely does. And it raises fundamental questions about fairness. Even Malal, the filmmaker using these tools, says he wants a system, something broadly accessible and easy to use where artists are compensated for their work. End quote. He gets that the AI needs data, but he also gets that the creators of that data need to be part of the equation.
And Bibon Kidron, she's campaigning hard on this. She admits the tools are fantastic, but she asks the key question. At what point are they going to realize that these tools are literally built on the work of creators? Her point is clear. Creators need equity in the new system, or we lose something precious. It's about fairness, not blocking tech.
And the source of that training data is murky sometimes. YouTube, for example, says their terms already let Google use creator videos for AI training. But they also deny using all of YouTube's massive library for it. It's a bit of a gray area, raises questions about consent and scale.
So, okay, let's try and pull this together. What does it all mean for us, for you listening? We've seen this dual nature of AI in making content. On one side, incredible speed, accessibility, totally new ways to tell stories like cinematic news, one person doing what used to take huge teams, huge budgets. But then the other side, these really deep ethical, economic challenges, especially around who owns what and how the original human artists get paid or even acknowledged.
Yeah, and this shift, it's going to fundamentally change the movies, the ads, the videos you watch every single day.
Yeah.
And the industry's making them. It really pushes us to think critically, Where do we draw the line between AI helping create something and AI just generating it wholesale? What counts as original?
Right. And that leaves us with this really provocative thought to chew on. What does it actually mean for creativity, for ownership, for the value we place on human art itself? When a machine can take a few simple text prompts and spit out something so polished, so compelling, so real-looking, what does that mean for us?